Hello everybody, and welcome back to Khemia. We are here with Cassius. Do we, who's excited for the return? Is this who in the audience is your favorite character? Like that's not the phrasing I want. It is there anyone whose favorite character is Cassius? Curious, very curious. Is what it is. Well, what is he doing? Let's go find out. He glances around before his eyes settle on Virginia. Sister, I apologize. Apologies for my unannounced arrival. It's difficult to send message from... Cass, it's wonderful to see you again. It's hard to say which of them is more surprised by Virginia's actions, as she embraces Cassius. Still, Cassius hugs back, though a bit stiffly, never having been one for showing verbal or physical affection toward his siblings. Are you alright? I don't think we've embraced since I woke up after the assassination attempt. Not exactly, but I can explain in a bit. Do you want to sit and talk over refreshments? If you're tired, it can wait until morning, assuming you're planning on staying. Actually, yes. I do miss those conversations we used to have. As for staying, that's also a yes. And thank you for accommodating me after, well, everything, I suppose. You're a member of our family, and you are always welcome here. Virginia glances around, half expecting to see Alexios, somewhere slinking about in the shadows. Is Alex... on Amorpha. You won't need to worry about him coming back here. I see. Well, let's have a seat and we can exchange our woes. Cassius, clearly famished, is filling his mouth, so Virginia starts first. You might have heard that I'm currently acting on Amicus's behalf at the moment. Cassius swallows hard. Yes, I did. Congratulations. Maybe. I don't envy you. That's, all I'll say. Also, I do not trust Amicus's judgment to gauge if Adastra is ready for an empress. Oh, certainly not. It kills these men to have to acknowledge what I am. I see. Lux might be opposed, and Lupus definitely is, even if they haven't said so yet. You're right. I haven't had many issues with Lux yet, but I just finished a call with a Lupasian who called me a bitch before our call fully ended. What? Which one was it? You're punishing him, right? That could even be considered a capital offense. Seeing Cassius's hackles raise, she knows the prideful anger as well, and it's coming on the surface. Excuse me. But it's somehow comforting. Sorry, I don't mean to upset you. Besides, it's simply one of my more popular nicknames. Though not as popular as Whore. It's something I've grown used to. Virginia sees Cassius's wince at that word too, and it doesn't surprise her that he would have no idea, having had his full attention on becoming emperor himself before leaving for Amorpha. That's a bit of an odd one, though, isn't it? Where do they think you have time to do that? Virginia laughs, caught off guard by the statement. Be a whore? That's a good question, but I assume they just enjoy the juxtaposition with my name. Amicus should have been actively pushing such behavior, but you're the acting empress now. They must show you respect or suffer the consequences. I'm beginning to run out of other options, so it might have to happen soon. I'm surprised you haven't already. I still want to know which triumvir what that was. He is not aware that the traditional punishment for insulting a woman of the royal family is castration. Emperor Pompus famously castrated a triumvir himself with a dull dagger. And to be fair, the official made statements about Pontus's daughter's genitalia in regards to how many men she slept with. It always comes down to what's between our legs, doesn't it? Well, being an emperor rather than an empress is rather difficult. It's fairly universal that men who rule with harsh, merciless tactics are seen as strong and respected. Women, on the other hand, are seen as cruel and sadistic, which are qualities unbecoming of their natural role in the world, which is nurturing and worshipping men, of course. And somehow history always remembers them as a seductress whore or something. Those few female rulers on Adastra existed pre-Dressus, overseeing smaller kingdoms, but I assume it's the same now as it was then. Yes, I remember noting that back in my schooling days. Few emperors were treated fairly in the history books. But yes, I don't believe a single woman was considered a good empress despite some of their kingdoms flourishing at the time. Cassius talks of the subject as if it's the first time he's given it thought. It seemed Amicus's egalitarian approach was the deciding factor on Cassius's position on gender roles. Either way, it would be my duty as your closest male relative to dole out the punishments, so you wouldn't have to worry about that. Virginia doesn't even try to imagine such a thing. Once things have stabilized, however, and if all goes acceptably well, I will punish anyone who says such things, and it's a bit selfish in that my own honor is at stake here. What kind of brother allows such things to be said about his sister? A weak one. While Virginia hopes this never comes to pass, she still rests a paw on Cassius's shoulder, acknowledging his love and support. Cassius stares into the middle distance for a moment, his hackles lowering, before he looks back at Virginia. Are you doing okay in your position? She notices Cassius isn't looking at her anymore, instead staring at the goblet next to him. Even though it's Verdi, not wine, Virginia has a good idea of what he's thinking about. He's never said so, but they all recognize that he had suffered mentally, not just physically, during the short period of his emperorship. Seeing this, Virginia almost aborts her earlier plan, but remembering the possible consequences for herself, her family, and Adastra as a whole, she proceeds, but more cautiously. I'm managing. The main, insurmountable issue is that no one is on my side. They're either neutral or they oppose me. I would seek advisors, but Father's most consistent advice to me was to never allow males near me, either physically or emotionally. I especially want to heed that wording now, considering some families who ruled before unification might see this as an opportunity to take power back. However, he never planned on me becoming empress, nor did I, so I have no connections with anyone in power. Did Amicus not set you up with vetted members of the Senate? I know there's at least a dozen or so egalitarians in here. They've stopped communicating with me one day after Amicus departed. Oh, that's not good. Indeed, I fear several plans are in the works. Stay in the palace as much as possible, and always bring drones to escort you outside. Consider preparing your own food and knowing its source. I can go out and buy if you need me to. Finally, you need an escape plan in the worst-case scenario unfolds. Have the Emperor's ship always ready for departure, then head to Khemia. Not just because Amicus is there, but because they are the only one in contact with Adastra, and I'm sure your plight would interest them. Of course, don't trust males, but also be wary of the possibility that they might use a female assassin for that very reason, so trust no one. The only men I've ever trusted are my brothers. You're very kind, but unfortunately your brothers are incompetent fools. I'm surprised that Amicus left, no matter what Khemia demands, but risking the Empire and throwing his sister into the mess to deal with it. This is what happens when he looks to the stars instead of having a look at his own damn empire. It speaks of a deeper problem in his leadership. He'll need help with that when he gets back. Here, let me adjust the audio a bit. He believes everything was in order when he left. The senators acted as if they were willing to work with me. I was prepared for the masks to drop, but not quite this fast, and not all at once. I know my time is running out, without some kind of political backing. I see. Virginia sees the tension in Cassius's body. His breath a bit heavier now, and she feels a twinge in her chest at causing her brother such distress. It's strange having these emotions come back to the surface. Apparently, behavioral alterations didn't fully subdue brothersome emotions. Bothersome. That is what that says. Emotions like it was supposed to. But something about becoming Empress with so much responsibility, it's made her more aware of the emotions of those around her. I know this is a terrible situation to come home to, especially after your own experiences in my current position, but I'm truly worried for the future of the Empire, especially if Amicus is gone for over a year. Do you still have connections in Adastran politics? After how long it's been, I'll need to reconnect, but I believe I have enough influence to scrape something together fairly quickly. At least something to hold off any attempt to overthrow you. That would give us time to build a proper, sturdy foundation for your rule. So what would you have me do, your Imperial Majesty? Virginia looks at her brother just for a moment, and while she feels love, yes, love, there's a sentimental aspect to it, another emotion she thought had departed long ago. But to see Cassius, who she knows is a very emotional man, accept his anxieties and future misery in less than a minute to help her, she quickly imagines cornering the emotion, locking it in an iron box before letting it slip out of her hand. Her head? Yes. The way she'd been taught. Now is not the time, and she needs to get her emotions back under control, because she knows any word of her shedding a tear, especially in her first day as Empress Regent? I'll get there, guys. Would not do her any... No, would not do her, yes. Or Cassius any favors. You don't mind serving under a female? You're my sister, Virginia. And now that I know how hostile the Empire is toward you, I don't care about my reputation. My political career ended 3 years ago anyway. My goal is to save the Empire and help to carry on the legacy of our family, so that your 1 year of rule is remembered as a great year. Virginia has to smile at that, wondering if he still thought about the way she had initiated his removal from the throne 3 years ago. But Cassius is very different now, and just like herself. Well, hopefully with your talent for understanding the needs of the people, along with your political experience and connections, you can be my chief advisor, the MrJosh, if you're willing to accept. Cassius gulps audibly. Alright then, I'll get started tomorrow. It'll give me a purpose at the very least. Thank you, Cassius. I at least have hope now. Good. You worried me when I first arrived. I've never seen you in this sort of state before. Virginia grimaces inwardly. She definitely needs to get those emotions back under control. I think it's the isolation. Talking to calm and antagonistic officials all day does odd things to the mind. So tell me about Amorpha, if you're not too tired. Cassius takes a deep breath, eyes looking up toward the ceiling as if seeing something beyond. Ah, that reminds me. I'll have to come up with all sorts of explanations for what I did before I speak to any officials. As for my time there, it was an experience. There's a few seconds of silence. A good experience. An eye-opening one. Virginia lets another few seconds go by asking the question as she should have asked earlier. Did it involve Alex? He is one of the main reasons. In the end, our loyalties lied with our own people. I came to realize how my irresponsibility and emotions ruined many lives on Adastra, but for some reason, it took a few years. I had always believed that Amorpha forced him into a situation he did not want any part of, but now he tells me it was necessary. We were all naive to Alex's intentions. Amorpha hadn't attacked Adastra in millennia, and it was hard to believe that they were running a sabotage mission with a cat who didn't have the physical or mental training to be a spy. It was something he could only achieve by becoming close to me, which simply makes me ill to think about. That's not surprising as Virginia notices he stopped eating, a paw subtly resting on his stomach. She wants to ask Cassius how he's doing, just like he had asked her, but she knows he'd be offended. You simply don't ask males about feelings like this. But while Virginia has never been in a romantic relationship, she does know the feeling of deep betrayal, the confusion, devastation, and hurt that goes along with questioning yourself and every single person around you. It's how she always felt during her childhood and adolescence. I told him how much it bothered me, but he rarely thinks about it, and seems surprised that I still bring it up. It made me wonder if I had misplaced his fear and misery at that time, that maybe it was all for himself. And like most Amorphans, he believed the Galaxias, yes, that is that word, maybe, I don't know, man, can only succeed if Adastra is no longer a sibling race, no matter the means. I've heard that sentiment is growing stronger there. Yes, most likely due to the possible alliance with Khemia, which, if successful, would be very difficult to undo. This is exactly the main reason I came back. They don't even know I'm here. Well, they probably do by now. I actually stole Alexios' ship, capable of using the stretch drive. It was given to him as a gift for the destruction he caused. They weren't allowing me to leave because of what I'd learned being close to him. Virginia sits up straighter, realizing she had another issue to worry about along with her rebelling empire, just as serious, if not more so. They held you captive? Are they planning something? A house arrest, basically. But yes, and while they were already interested after learning of Amicus's absence, I'm sure they'll be far more emboldened once they learn the true state of the Empire. What better time to strike? Virginia takes a deep breath, looking down at the floor for a moment. Now, I'm the one sorry for bringing such bad news home with me. I did say we should exchange our woes, and how woeful it is. Unfortunately, a male will indefinitely have to communicate with planetary defense. If you're willing, I have a simple plan for restoring your reputation. Kaz's ears, muzzle, and tail twitch at the same time, but again, he forces a smile. I'm at your command. Oh, very exciting indeed. I'm kind of interested in that subplot. That seems real neat. That seems real good. Maybe it's just because of my bias for not really caring that much about Amicus. It's alright. Anyway, I'm going to end the part here, everyone. So I do hope that you all have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys around.